Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. Thank you all for taking out the time to join in this session. I'm extremely excited today to present to you Adobe Firefly, which is a set of generative AI service from Adobe. Truly excited to show the realm of generative AI from Adobe. And I would really like to make this an interactive session because we'll encourage a lot of inputs from you. So keep your hands on your keyboard and be ready to type in as exciting prompts that you could because we're going to generate a lot of things today. And I hope you truly enjoy the session. Just for everybody to know as to how they can get access to Adobe Firefly. So Adobe Firefly is in the beta version correctly. It's available as a public beta. So you can go to firefly.adobe.com, a link for which I am going to paste in the chat window. Just give me a second. And you can request access from there. And right now, whatever content you create from Firefly is something that would not be available for commercial use, but you can definitely use it through the process of ideation and creation. And we hope that whatever we have in stock for you today, um, you're able to utilize back in your production processes. So today's session is basically focused around what you can do with the help of generative AI in the realm of graphic designing. So to begin with, the first question is let's not talk about Firefly at all and let's discuss what is actually generative AI. And knowingly, unknowingly, we've been using generative AI for the longest time now. Do you see those prompts that you get when you're typing a message? That is something that is an example of inculcating AI into your systems, right? While you're typing your email, the future part or the further part of the email is already ready. All you have to do is a swipe is an example of generative AI. So anything that generates an image, text, a positioning on the basis of a text prompt is comes under the category of generative AI. Now, talking about Adobe Firefly, Firefly is trained on Adobe Stock, which is our service, which is a collection of more than 300 million assets. And this has been used and we are improving every day. There are so many things that are there which we're excited to show you about. So without much talking, just let me get started. So let's start with the first capability that Firefly has, which is text to image. And for graphic designers, what potentially this could be used for is during the ideation process. You can literally put any idea that you have in your mind to actually put that into reality with the help of Firefly. A lot of times, you're thinking about a logo for a brand. Let's, for example, say I have a brand which is an organic herbal brand, and I need to get a logo for it to begin from a blank slate to build up upon that. It's something which is time consuming. And, when we go through this process of idea generation, it consumes a lot of time because we try a lot of things. But with Firefly, we don't have to start from a blank slate. You can put all your ideas that you have multiple variations of them, and then enjoy with it. So, like I said, let's begin with getting an idea generated for our logo for an organic herbal brand. So, this is the feature that I'm talking about. Again, I will repeat, which is text to image. And then we are here. I would type in organic herbal. Okay, let's type in the logo for organic herbal brand. And I'm happy to take in inputs if anybody wants me to put a specific prompt in here. So please feel free to put it in the chat window. Firefly is online. It's available on the browser, Karthik. So you see, I got these options for the logo that I can use just a little through the ideation phase. Now, there's several options out here which I can also try, starting with the aspect ratio of it. So, for example, if this is like a logo and I'm okay with having like a square, but then if it was a larger image, maybe a landscape aspect ratio is something I would want it. So it'll give me that as well. Anything, people in the crowd that you would want me to just put in as a prompt for, that you would want to generate a logo for? Any brand that you'd like me to put it in for? So you see, this has got, so maybe I like this because it has got these herbs in it. So I have got this option which you can see, and I'll pan on it so that you can actually see that this is show similar option. And while I'm zooming in, these are the other options, which is for download, to favorite it, to have it stored. Then options you can submit to Firefly Gallery, use as a reference image, or maybe copy it to clipboard to paste it somewhere else. So you can definitely have that capability here. So I like this one, so I can find multiple variations of this logo itself right here. And we look at all of these content type as well. So currently what is getting generated is art content type. But if I want something which is a photograph, um, let's see what that generates for us. So we have these options to play around it and see what we get as the result. And the limit is it's actually limitless, I would say. There is nothing that you would not be able to do when you're typing in content. Logo for immunize with pride. Okay, Rajesh, and Jennifer, I get coffee culture. We'll try both that inputs. So you see, when I typed in the photo, when I gave the photo content type, it gave me the following results here. Let's try one of the prompts from the audience. Coffee culture. Let's see what it gets us. So the prompt, it says the prompt is too short. So the trick with Firefly is the longer the prompt is, the more details it brings out, but it'll still give us something, and let's see what it is. So a logo for coffee culture, that would have been better. And then we've got, while it's generating those images, we can also, okay, microscopic view of bacteria. Would you want that in your logo? I didn't get your name, but then we'll definitely try this big prompt that you've sent in while we're trying other images. So these are the coffee prompts that these are the prompts that you get for your coffee brand, Jennifer. I hope you like them. But there are other styles also that are available, and you can add details to your design with the help of these styles. So, for example, I'm really fond of steampunk because it definitely adds on a metallic sort of detail to your design. So you can play around with that. And we've got multiple options in here. We've got several concepts in here. You see the detailing increase. There's a certain sort of rusticness that it added to the logo. So these are all the options on the side that you see. Styles, you can have different techniques. You can play around with it as much as you'd like, and you'll have it all in the filters, and the generation would be like that. Now let's try something which is more towards the tone side of it. For example, uh, maybe let's say Lotus Temple, which is in India, on a Diwali night with firecrackers. I'll definitely take in the other prompts, and then we could see as to how we can play around with the color and tone a lot. So this is basically if you're writing out an article for maybe the celebrations of festivals in India. So it will give you a temple in the form of lotus, maybe. See, the capabilities that are endless, so you can utilize this. We've got a couple of prompts. Design a bottle opener that makes you dizzy. Vix, that's a very innovative prompt. Okay, so let's try that. And we'll then switch on to the next part of it with trying this last prompt. I don't know if it'll give us the result we need, but let's give it a try. And then you can possibly play around with the lighting if you're generating something which is scenic, or you can have the lighting adjusted. A bottle opener that makes you feel dizzy. Does that give you the output you needed, Vixit? Vix? Vikshit, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know how to pronounce that name correctly. Now, Krishna, we don't have that capability as of now to generate vector file. We That's in the pipeline, but again, we cannot. We're looking at the future capabilities. Nothing that we guarantee as of now, but these are the future capabilities, and this is a prospect. Um, so then there are compositions that you can try out here. Now, with that said, let's let's also look at something which as if you feel like designing a banner for a website, and you don't know exactly what are the components to fit. For example, it's a furniture brand that you're looking at, and there's a website that you're looking to design the banner for. So maybe try this prompt that is here. So there's several prompts, there's several people from the creative verse that have submitted their images and interior room. This is something you can try different dimensions, or maybe add to it, maybe with sunlight. So I can add to that prompt. So you can also try on existing prompts just for the process of idea generation. And then if not only this sunlight, maybe you can add no, it cannot. Basically, we can try it out, but I it doesn't give you the storyboard, the kind of storyboard or the visual storyboard that you're looking for. You can definitely get the content for it. You can get images to put on a storyboard or an image. Okay, let's see which one. Not the composition, but I was looking at lighting, which is the golden hour. And now I'll generate one. Let's see what difference does that make. And towards the end of it, we will get into the Photoshop integration of generative fill as well. Um, So you see how beautifully or magically that it brought the tint of sunlight into the picture, and it immediately turns it. And I can guarantee you, if I get it into the white screen, it'll turn out to be even more beautiful. And you can also keep the content type selected as none. So let the generative AI Firefly decide what is the best format that it can give you the results in. So you see, beautiful images, beautiful thought that has been brought into it. Now let's get into logo and typography. I think a lot of times we struggle with how to create or how to add letters or add um, letters to your logo. So this is something which can also, which is the second option, which is text effects, where you can have objects embedded or effects that you can bring out in your text. And let's see, for example, I am designing a logo for a wooden brand, right? And which is teak is the core product that they use in in building their furniture. So I can have the word teak or just tea, and I would want wooden patterns. So let's see what that generates. Again, we've got multiple sample prompts as well. So you see how quick and easy that generates it. And if there's something which is wood with I would say it's wood with the technology. So maybe I can add another T, and maybe I can download it and then bring it to Illustrator, and then maybe have like cloud, not cloud, but basically appliances. So I can have my Teak Tech logo designed with one T having wood and the other having tri hettich for hinges. So you see, it got the appliances inside of T. So you can have text fits decided. So basically, it could be loose, right? So you will see the characters flowing out of the text. You can decide on the font. Of course, the background color and the text color is something you can work on. So let's pick on the background color and text color. Let's see now what that gets us. Edge and hinges. Okay. We'll put that in next. Come on, people, we look for more participation from your end. So please feel free to get in the inputs right there. We'll be happy to take in all the inputs. I think that really gets the best results, and you can play around more with. Right? Yeah, it looks really cool. So you can keep trying on with the kind of effects that are available. Some of it, what we can try is we've got um, these that the samples that are available to us. I really used it for educating my nephew from A to B in CD, and I had like A filled with apples, B filled with balls. So it was really interesting, and it was an excellent way to educate children as well. The next that we have is basically style transfer or style altercation, which not exactly style, but color altercation and color style. So a lot of times we do struggle with, right? Um, changing the colors that are on a picture and reiterate it, choose the color palette which gets along well. So it's a constant struggle, and it takes a part of our energy which actually can be saved, right? So here is the Adobe Firefly to your rescue. All you have to do is upload the SVG file for your design, and it can help you recolor it. Let's try with some of the prompts. So the sample files that are already available here. And let's see. So we've got these color palettes right here. If you can see, let me zoom in. So we've got these prominent colors already. And if I take you to the other part, you can see every image has its own patterns. So let's see. We've got sample prompts. I'll try that itself, but you can also type in your prompts. And while I try the sample ones, I'm looking forward to see some in the chat pod. Just tell me what kind of color palette you'd like to customize designs in. And I'm looking forward to all of these prompts. But let me try salmon sushi here. That's the kind. Okay, that's on the same tones. So a lavender storm I tried. So you see how instantaneously it's changing the prominent colors, and you can also shuffle colors. So there are multiple patterns in here. So you can see that the minute I click on shuffle colors, it's changing the colors and switching them between patterns in the background. So you can get as many results as you would like. Now let me upload one of my own and see what results that gets me. So I've got this image file. Let's see. I'm looking forward to your responses in the chat, guys. I'm hoping you guys are as excited as I am. Like I got really excited when I saw all of these generative AI capabilities, and I thought that these would really make the work simpler. That as designers we do and spend our time on, so that could help us save our time and actually save us from the redundant work that we do. But while people are typing in their prompts, I'll just put in something which is um, rustic red. Let's see what that generates. So it has got all of these patterns generated, and you can simply play around with it. So you can see the reference image right here and what it has created. Let's see if the sample prompt, which is here, works well. So you can see how it's changing the colors. So it can really save time when you would want to create multiple renditions of your design with or generate a different pattern. Now let's get to the most interesting part. And I think a feature that blew my mind away when I first saw it, and I hope that it works a similar way for you as well. So let's get into the generative fill option. Now, generative fill, let's pick up one of these images that are there as examples itself. So if I'm looking at this lighthouse, if I don't want a lighthouse and if I'm looking forward to add a statue, which is an old statue made of cement, let's see. So all I have to do is just remove this part from my image and do it roughly. No need any precision. Just type in I think that's sufficient, but we can add more. And you'll see in a matter of quick minutes, it gives me 4 variations. And can you even believe that? I mean, can you imagine seeing the lighthouse in its place? So that's how magically it does it. It matches the lighting, it matches the perspective and the style of the image so that it looks as cool as real, right? And then let's keep this one and select the background and change it to maybe city lights, right? City buildings with sunlight maybe. Let's see what that generates. You can go as wild as possible that you need to be, and I'm telling you, it'll give you results that are as amazing as anything, right? So let's wait for it to generate, and you see how that changes it, and the statue still stands. So it's amazing the capabilities that it has. You can also select the background and maybe invert the selection so you can add something in its place. So there are trillions possibility. Now with this technology, the future of what we look to do with Adobe Firefly is inculcate its capabilities. Again, nothing guaranteed. We're just looking at the future capabilities, what we can serve. But what we look forward is to add the capabilities to Adobe Creative Cloud applications so we can help designers all over the world to be able to utilize these technologies for faster working and faster creation of their designs. Right. So basically, one more thing before we get to Photoshop. So here is a woman wearing an orange jacket, and maybe I would want to replace that, right? I would definitely want this to be a different color, maybe, or different material. So this could be extremely useful if you would want to play around with different variations or styles of the model that you have in your designs, or maybe things that you're creating. So let me put in a black leather jacket. We can play around with the background as well. So I was talking about adding these capability to Adobe Creative Cloud applications because we live by the motto that, we're empowering the world with digital experiences. So there you go. You have the leather jacket and how seamlessly that blends in. Can you even tell that the woman was wearing a orange jacket? So that's how you can utilize this for your inspirations as of now. Just because I see a lot of prompts in there, Firefly and the image generated through it are not available for commercial use as of now. It's a public beta. You can use it for ideation processes to begin with, play around with it. There would be an announcement as and when it would be available for commercial use. So now let's get to the Photoshop beta application. And before we get to the beta application, for all those of you who are looking forward to access the generative AI feature, you have to if you have access to beta applications, you will see that under the Adobe Creative Cloud applications. And there you go, you can install it, and then you will see Photoshop beta. Now, let's go and I have this example wherein I am looking forward to create a billboard campaign for an adventure camp. And let's see as to how I can do around with it. So let's extend the artboard a little because I'm assuming the billboard would be of a bigger size. So of course I've extended the artboard, but I have parts of white spaces on my image. Now we have this option of making the selection of both. Let's select 1 second. Just select this area. I'm using the rectangular marquee tool, then add another selection. Now there are two ways of accessing generative fill, what we saw on the Firefly website within Photoshop. And let's see. Generative fill is one option that you can find this assistive bar that is there, or you can go to the edit menu and you will find generative fill as well right below content aware fill. So I click on generative fill right here, and right now I don't understand how I want to extend it and let AI use its power to pick on it. So I just click on generate and it generates. Let's see what it generates. I'll leave it right now. I'll keep it a surprise for you guys. So I've made the selections on both ends and I've added no prompt right now. And the results are there. That is something that would be in front of you. So you can play around with the different variations that we get around it, and how seamlessly that blends in is something that we can look at. We can try another image as well, which is let's see. Okay, this one looks good. So I've got this beautiful image, but of course this another has a white space. So let's make a selection right here. And again, generative fill. Won't really choose any prompt as of now as well. So it's generating, and let's see what magic that does. And we're going to play around a lot with these images. So hold your thoughts, or if you have any as to what you'd like to see on these images. So you see, without me entering any prompt, it understood how I would like it to be. It adjusted with the perspective lighting, and also the style of the image. Now, another capability is you can replace objects, right? If I don't like this brown part that I see, let's see if I would want to remove it with the beach. I would want a beach between, maybe this is a resort area, the resort courtyard, or and I would like to have a beach bit in between. Let's see what that does. And isn't it truly mesmerizing? I mean, I was out of my mind when I saw it. And this truly, as we're calling it, the future of Photoshop, the future of designing. So you see, it's got multiple beaches now, and it's how seamlessly it's replaced what I see now. Maybe I would want to um, add a cruise ship here. Let's try that. And it's complete, the generation of it is completely dependent upon the design or the selection that you make. The bigger the selection, the bigger it will put in the prompt, the fill it will do. And it all, the image that it generates, basically it composites with the back of, or the background of the image, I would say. Cruise ship. Let's see. I truly get lost when I'm trying to play around with this feature. So to communicate to you guys and do it is getting a getting a little overwhelmed right now. Pallavi, the source of the picture is right now for generative AI is our generative AI is Adobe stock. So you see how that blends into the picture. Now maybe let's add some clouds here. It's a very clear sky. So let's see. So we've got some people here. Maybe the next thing that I add on to it would be someone who's paragliding or parasailing. So let me get that here. And you can see how seamlessly it blends in with what is there. Now let's add somebody who's like an aeroplane also here. Let's add an aeroplane. If you guys want to add something to this image that I'm currently doing, feel free to put in your prompt. It's not me, it's the AI that's doing it. Birds, yes, Shrikant, I look forward to add birds next. So my selection was big, so we've got a big aeroplane in there. So this looks kind of blend in with my image. You said somebody said birds, so let's add a flock of birds here. And we can go on and on. I'm telling you, once you start using this, there's no end to it. You'll keep wanting it on your ice on the mountains on a beach. That is a wild thought, but of course, AI can help us do that. Why not? So you see, there's a variation of birds that has been added. I feel this is the best. Of course, we can change the sky color. So all you have to do is go select sky. And right now I've got multiple things selected. But yes, you can change the sky as well. For example, if I undo the changes here. So let's select sky. Or the image. It's actually not giving me an option. Let me open this image once again. So for everyone, sharks in the ocean. Okay, we'll try that. So select the sky. And maybe sky filled with northern lights. So generate. So once the prompts that I'm actually seeing are quite funny. So this is one. So you can replace sky. So this looks more promising, the most promising. And you can go on to generating more variations to it. So you see how what's the impact that it has brought in. I think some of you asked for snow as well. So let's see if we can add some snow. Or maybe, let's add a house here. I apologize. My internet just gave me a hard time. I'm sorry. My internet just cut me out. So I'm back in. Can everybody hear me now? See me now? I'll just share my screen as well so that you guys can just give me a heads up on that. Just many of you give me a thumbs up or something. Thank you so much. So yeah, I think you can play around with that. What else you can do with it is I've got certain things. So I was trying to generate a house here. Thank you, everybody. I hear you. Thank you so much. I am able I'm back in. So it got me a house added here. So it blended it into my image. Let's see. Now let's get to certain examples how you can do it in your day-to-day process. So I've got this great looking coffee mugs, and it could be a coffee campaign that we would be working on. So I've got this print on it. So let me generate it with the help of generative AI. Let's make the selection and have it overlapping. So maybe I want coffee beans on my coffee mug. So let's see. Coffee beans and sheet. So let's generate something which is not available as an image to us already. So coffee beans on a white background and she and croissant. I'm going really wild right now, but it's okay. I can cater all my requests, and that's why I like generative AI so much. So it gets generated, and we'll see that now applied to our mugs in the design. So let's see which one gets some. Maybe I like this, so I'll just get out of here. And so you can generate as many prompts as you'd like. I said, as in till the time you're not satisfied. So it's currently saving it for me. So you see it got replaced just in a matter of few seconds. Let's change the other one too. And this time let's put something scenic on the mugs, which is um, do you have any prompts for me? I'm going out of prompts in my head right now. But let's see. A cafe on the beach, crowded by people. Hawaii vibes. Pallavi. Okay, next we put on that. I just saw another response. Jack Sparrow and its pirate ship. So let's see if we can. Saves it. The next prompt that I'm going to try is the one which is the extremely long one that I see in the chat right now. Maybe I've got too many things open. Mm-mm. Let me, in the interest of time, because we're already at 3:50, let me just quickly get the activity monitor and kill this. Mm-mm. Okay, let's open Photoshop beta from here. We'll try on this last template that I have, and then we can probably maybe get on the question parts of it. So let's open. This was the first of the templates that I write. So I've got this t-shirt right here, and let's see what we can do here. So maybe I want, you must have seen a lot of t-shirts with the city names, but I maybe want a city portrait on my t-shirt. So let's say Liverpool is a good city. So let's put that. You can have New York, you can have Delhi, you can anything put on it. Just go crazy with your imagination. So I've got multiple variations here. I think this looks good. And let's get out of here and close this one. Just save. And you see that plain t-shirt design, it actually Got it. And you see how seamlessly it has blended into the image. It doesn't look like to overimpose that. So yeah, that is how you can play around, and with ease you can just put in and have the superpower. You can simply play around. I think one of these prompts that I saw in the chat was Hawaii vibes. So let's try something like that. And there's one of these questions that I saw while I was just showing the demo, that there's a color mismatch. That was because the selection that was made was distinctive. If I put it on top of it, it'll exactly blend in the kind of image that I have. So this looks good. Let's get out of here and save the image for me. And you see how magically it transformed and got me the kind of design that I wanted. Um, let's get back to the image which we were trying to work, and then we'll open up for questions. Good 10 minutes to answer all your queries. So like right now my selection is on the top of it. Now generate. I'll pick up these big prompts also and try that on Firefly. Vibrant and interconnected maze of neural pathways. While that generates, let me get to Firefly to try this. So this is an art content type that it has generated. Let's switch to photos. So you see now how it is blended. I placed it. I've got this design. I've got this design, this template of this woman, and I can place my designs over here. With that said, I hope all of this that today we talked about, we showcased, helped you and will help you to try out during the ideation process. And this helps you, accelerate the content creation process for you, and you can get rid of the redundant work that you actually have to do. Um, and focus more time on the creative processes around.